Hi, welcome to a Roboflow demo movie. In this demo movie, I will show you that with Roboflow, you can add a watermark to your thumbnail, and you can also store a second image picture field in each record, maybe to use as a preview or as an alternate thumbnail. Imagine you have a catalog and you don't want the users to be able to get to the thumbnail in Portals. So if you go to Portals, a user could just steal your image by, need to log back in, needs to steal your image just by picking it up here in the interface. They could put it in the biggest size, and then they could just take it. So if you want to avoid that, then here's what you can do. You can create a Roboflow workflow that in this catalog will add to a second field, which I have here in a second, which is called thumbnail 2. So I can just create one and store it here. But thumbnail 2 is not used by Portals. Portals uses the standard thumbnail field. So what I do in my workflow is I pick up the thumbnail, store it in thumbnail 2, and then store in thumbnail the watermarked thumbnail. That way I can have in my normal interface here, I can have the original thumbnail unwatermarked in the native client if you want, and then in the web you can have the watermarked one. So you see this is the normal thumbnail field, and this is the backup field. So if I run the workflow here, let me do that, and I say start. Show log. You can see that it processes the records, and the way it processes them and which records it processes them is all something that can be configured. It can be upon cataloging. It also should be upon when the asset has been updated, so the record has been updated, etc., etc. So there's some things to consider. But finally, if we have a look in the catalog, we now see, well, I'm just seeing no thumbnails. That's because I'm not showing the thumbnail field, I'm showing the second thumbnail field. So if I look at standard here you go, and you see that all your different files have now a watermark. Not the files, but the thumbnails. So if I show that in my special record view set, you can see that this was the original and this. And now you can play with this, because in your web interface, you can show the normal thumbnail field, and in the normal interface, the normal user could work with or without the watermarked thumbnail. So let's have a quick look in Portals in the web. So if I sign out and log in again, I just could have done a different search and it would have picked up the records as well. Here we go, and I go to that particular catalog. And notice that you need to clear your cache. And so that's the only disadvantage. It is still using the thumbnail field, but it's the same records and it has it in the cache. So you need to clear the cache of your browser. Let me just do a quick demonstration in another browser where we didn't open it yet. That's a the disadvantage of portals, that is, since it's pure HTML, your browser caches it. So here we go, back to the catalog. And here are my watermarked thumbnails. So you can see that. Now, a very tricky thing is that, and for solving that, you would have to go a step further and personalize portals. And so what you have to watch out for is, you might think that this is still the thumbnail, but this is in reality already the preview. So if you do this, it first shows the thumbnail, but behind the scenes, if it's allowed, if it's able, it gets the thumbnail. So to avoid getting that, you would have to disable the user for getting the preview, which you have to do anyway, since otherwise, if you don't want them to steal it in the preview window, they would also get the image and be able to steal it. So there is a little extra work in configuration to do if you want to avoid that they steal it. But you see, if you click here, it's first the one that appears with the watermark, and only a few seconds later, or parts of a second later, the preview version arrives. But that preview version will only arrive if you allow it to, which means if you have configured that this user is allowed to see the preview. Anyway, this was a short demo movie showing you that Roboflow can play around with the thumbnail. It can add watermark to the thumbnail. It can store multiple versions of your image in a record, which then you could use in your interface, which means that you don't have to have conversions or file caches on your web server, etc., etc. Everything could be prepared in your catalog. So thank you for joining this training movie, and see you in the next one.